It's week 16, and as is custom here at 52 Cocktails, the last challenge of every month is a wacky one. And my friends, the Bloody Mary is the wackiest of them all, not just for this month, but for this entire course, and maybe this entire year. Until now, we've been balancing the delicate nuance of weighing certain ingredients to one another to have a nice, elegant, balanced effect. The Bloody Mary kind of throws that out the window and literally throws everything into the glass. It also leads into something that we haven't touched on all that much so far this year, and that is the savory. This is essentially the entire spice rack into an ingredient list. And frankly, I did not think I would be a fan. I was never a fan of tomato juice. Maybe I have bad childhood memories of trying to drink a V8 or something. The first time I tried this drink, I was very surprised. It's also very surprisingly balanced for all of the spice and the pepper and the salt. You would think it's somebody losing a bet that put together this drink, but when you drink it, somehow the tomato juice supports and holds it all together, and it's surprisingly a delicious, satisfying drink. So for those of you that have never had a Bloody Mary, you're in for a real treat. Whoosh. Let's break down what's in this drink, because this is a long one. Vodka, first of all, here is doing what vodka does best, as we discussed in previous weeks, but all the more so for this. Vodka really takes a step back and makes the drink fun and alcoholic without having to worry about the taste of the alcohol. The vodka is shining in its neutrality. It is absolutely allowing all of these ridiculous flavors come into the drink without being too involved. But of course, still supporting the drink structurally, as this is an alcoholic drink. Tomato juice, like I mentioned, somehow is the container of this drink. It somehow doesn't, similarly to the vodka, doesn't get in the way, but it supports all of the other ingredients. It also introduces a bit of sweet, a bit of acidity, a bit of umami, a bit of complement to everything else that's coming in after it. The important bit is that you need to use quality tomato juice. I could not find really good quality tomato juice where I live, and I tried to juice my own tomatoes. I was like, why can't I just juice my own tomatoes? I tried with a potato ricer, those things that you squeeze, and that did not work. And then I tried just like a good old lemon squeezer, and I squeezed like 3 or 4 tomatoes, and I couldn't come up with the 4 ounces. So then I combined it with close to 100% carton tomato juice. I think it'll be fine. I've used the carton tomato juice before. If that's all you could get, that's fine. But ideally, you want 100% tomato juice at the very least. If any of you have tips how to make tomato juice at home, please let me know. I think maybe in a blender is probably the best way to go, and then just filter it out from there instead of trying to manually squeeze a piece of tomato. Don't look at my kitchen right now. Lemon juice here, of course, fresh as always, is not so much like in other drinks that brings out the punch or the citrusy feel, because there's so much going on. It more is, at this point, a gentle lift to counterbalance some of the heavy, thick tomato aspect of it, and just kind of brings the drink to life. Worcestershire sauce is a ridiculous idea. This crazy drink, but somehow it works. It's salty and umami, and you taste the Worcestershire sauce in the mix, kind of. It doesn't taste like you're dropping Worcestershire sauce in your mouth, but it just works. But it's that salt and umami that's coming into play, which also pairs well with the celery salt garnish. Hot sauce. I have sriracha here, but actually I don't think we use sriracha. Better off using some Tabasco, and I actually found this Tabasco extra hot chipotle, which can't be bad, right? Like everything else, it seems very dubious and scary on paper, but surprisingly, again, even this is very palatable. The tomato juice kind of pairs it down and doesn't make it too punchy. It is still spicy, and people could go as spicy as they want. A lot of people opt to put in fresh horseradish into it. I'm not doing that because that kind of takes over the entire drink, but If spicy is your thing, you can lean into that. You could add sriracha, but I shouldn't have sriracha. It's Tabasco. It's Tabasco.
Whoosh.
We have two more things from the spice rack here. We have celery salt, which goes in at the top, or you could rim with celery salt. I do think, I kind of like that. I'm gonna rim. We're gonna garnish with the celery salt rim, and the black pepper, again, surprisingly, is in the mix. It gives it that bit of heat, pairs well with the Tabasco. You don't even know at that point what is going on your tongue, but it is very much in the combination of kick, of mouth kick. All right, let's build. First of all, you wanna build in a highball. There's a lot going on here and you need a glass big enough to contain it. And I don't even know if this is. We're gonna garnish first with the celery salt rim. Put some lemon juice on the rim, give that a roll. I don't know if that was a terrible idea, but we are now properly celery salted, rim garnished highball. We're gonna add ice to that in a bit, but first we're gonna build in a shaker. We're not quite gonna shake it, but we're gonna get to that in a moment. 2 ounces of vodka goes in. Next is 4 ounces of some quality tomato juice. I did strain it before I went into this jar, but I think I'm gonna strain it anyways again after we shake. We got a ½ ounce of fresh lemon juice. We have 2 to 3 dashes of Worcestershire. Oh my God. It's scary. It's all scary, okay? Trust the process. Trust the process. 2 to 4 dashes of hot sauce of your choice. Okay, I put in like 8 because it's a new bottle and it wasn't coming out so well, but I may regret that later. ½ a teaspoon horseradish. If you're a crazy person, I'm gonna skip that for my build. If you didn't rim with the celery salt garnish, you could opt for a pinch of celery salt in the mix right now. I'm gonna skip that because I think that's enough salt. And we have a pinch of freshly ground black pepper. Okay, we're gonna add ice to our shaker. And we are not going to shake. Why are we not gonna shake? Because when you shake with the tomato juice starts to aerate and get kind of foamy. We don't want an airy, foamy drink. The consistency gets weird, but we do wanna dilute a bit and we do wanna incorporate a lot. That brings us to a new method of shaking or incorporating, and that is called rolling. Rolling is simply rolling the drink back and forth between your 2 tins a couple of times. And what that does, it incorporates the drink. It does dilute it a bit. It does get colder. It is very loud, but it's not aerating or getting foamy. Now, the more advanced bartenders will, I'm not gonna do it here because I have electronics and I'm not good at it, but the more advanced bartenders will roll like that, like really where the liquid is pouring down. That's not just theatrics, that's aerating a little bit more. And some drinks do call for more aeration. It's kind of the perfect balance between stirring and shaking is rolling. We've rolled it enough times here, and we're gonna double strain that into our highball. I'm gonna add a bit of ice here, although ideally, as with other highballs, it's better to ice first. And we're gonna get the rest in there. And I filled it a bit too high because garnish is crazy. Garnish, people get a little bit nutty with garnish. So I'm gonna get a little bit nutty here too. We're gonna have to spill some out. That's just how it is, but I really want all of this. I want this celery in there, and you could also do a slice of lemon, and you can garnish with whatever you want. You could garnish with the cement truck. You could garnish with your second child. It's kind of a free-for-all. Like the drink is kind of a free-for-all. but somehow it works. I'm not gonna get all this in frame, but this is the Bloody Mary. All right, I'm nervous. Here's to nothing. Wow, okay, so first I'm taking some of this garnish out because I can't even get my my lips on it. Obviously the tomato juice hits you first. They're surprisingly not so spice forward, not so pepper forward. You would think you would be bombarded in your mouth, but especially with rolling it how I did it, it's actually quite soft and diluted. I would opt to roll it less. When I prepared this in the past, I just built it in the glass and gave it a slight mix. So I'll leave that up to you. I kind of like it less incorporated. This really dilutes it down a bit and it's a little bit too soft to drink. It is a surprisingly refreshing drink and honestly makes you want to keep coming back for more. It also does not taste alcoholic. There's just so much going on here that the vodka does indeed take a back seat. And it's really fun. There's also tons of variation and opinions on this drink. As varied as the ingredients are, that's not surprising. But let's go see what some of the documented variations we have. So this is a cool one. You can swap the vodka for tequila, which we wouldn't do because it's vodka month. And you get a Bloody Maria, and the agave character gives it a little bit of a more interesting depth as opposed to the vodka, which is really just allowing everything else to shine. Replace the vodka with gin and you get a red snapper. The botanicals of the gin is gonna be even more complex with everything going on. And of course, the Virgin Mary, that's a very apt name. The Virgin Mary as a mocktail is everything we've done with no vodka. And this is one of the true mocktails that will stand on its own. There is so much going on here that I personally don't even know if I would taste the difference without the vodka. So that's your Bloody Mary. It's a bit of a mess of the bar. It's a bit of a great culmination of everything that we've learned for Vodka Month. It's a bit of a great wacky end in general, just as a really fun experimental drink. Next week we start the world of rum, which is gonna be very exciting. But until then, this is a good place to be. I'll see you all next week. And as always, happy mixing.